collaborative work to create credible information, disaster response coordination to implement and announce evacuation order, and training and simulation and relationship of trust. These three are more essential elements to our success.
Wonderful. While you still have the microphone, I'd like to ask you as well, what would some of the users of your program say?
Okay, users' voice, we got many testimonials. So let me read out from one of these testimonials. From Hilton Herald, Chief of Pampanga River Basin Flood Forecasting and Warning Center, Pagasa Department of Science and Technology in Philippines. I had high expectation that this system will help us in providing timely and accurate information to our target community in the Pampanga River Basin. Being able to provide information that will help communities to prepare and respond appropriately to the possible forecasted flood situation will surely be very helpful.
Thank you. Well, how prepared could you have been with a direct quote from a user? Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Amos, do you have anything additional you want to share with regard to the user's perspective?
Because I have another to share, because I'm just looking at one of the users from Senegal, and something which is very important. One particular thing which came up strongly is that in Africa, we have the Great Green Wall. And this is a very huge area with a lot of, in terms of the economic development, is huge. In terms of the transformation, is huge. It's going to affect water resources, energy development, and all of this. And one thing that we realized that was important is that with all these initiatives, with LDN flagship, we need to have help desks. It is very important to have help desks, very, very important. And I'm happy Senegal is here and the CSE is trying to see if they can support the LDN flagship to have a help desk that can speak in the language, the culture, and the religion of the people. Because this is extremely important.
Thank you. Excellent points. One last round of applause for our speakers today. And the incredible points that they have shared. I would now like to open it up to you all in the GEO delegations. If you would like to make an intervention, please raise your, I was going to say flag, but I think it's actually your name plate. And also, remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your intervention. And if you could please state before you speak whether you are making a statement to share with all, or if you have a specific question to ask. If you mention that you have a question, that will cue our panelists to be prepared to answer. Thank you. Now, I want to go in the order that they are coming, and let me ask the delegation from South Africa, please, to speak.
Thank you. I just want to pose a question to the GeoGLAM. Because we've seen a significant impact that GeoGLAM had globally. And therefore, I just want to find out what role has the GeoGLAM Secretariat played, and what are some of the lessons you can give to other GEO initiatives? Thank you.
That's a great question. Thank you very much. First of all, over 90% of the resources that go into GeoGLAM have come from in-kind resources, but there's a little bit that has gone into supporting the GeoGLAM Secretariat, and that is basically the glue that has held the community together all these years. And I should probably acknowledge, I try not to acknowledge too many countries because there's so many that are involved, but in particular Germany, Canada, and the UK have been important to support the GeoGlam Secretariat. That type of funding is very difficult to get, but it's very essential. It's such a small piece of the whole picture, but it allows people to dedicate their whole working time to bringing the community together, providing coordination and so on. So it's very important. I think that's a lesson that we learned early on, to have a good, strong secretariat, but not overburdened with administration or anything, just a quite simple approach. And I'd also put a call out to the community. Those resources are finite, and if anybody is interested in supporting GeoGlam or any of these other wonderful initiatives, I'm sure we'd all very much welcome that.
Thank you. We now have an intervention from China.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all the awardees and the highlight reports. All these show the great value of Earth observation and some big achievements of GEO community. Amidst Huang Weijiang's achievement stand as a notable representation of the GWP program contributed or led by China. Other projects are currently processing smoothly and have reached several significant milestones. I would like to note the following points. First, for the marine subsidence damage program, ground observation sample datasets, subsidence identification methods, and software tools have been applied in typical mining regions of China and Pakistan, contributing significantly to the sustainable development of the mining area on a global scale. Secondly, open data websites for alpine and polar cold regions, the Polar Spatial and Temporal Information Platform, and the digitized optical waterway environmental service system have played a crucial role in advancing polar research and scientific studies. These results have also been seamlessly integrated into the GEO portal. Third one is that the public data products, including the Central Asia Regional Knowledge Hub and the Central Asia Belt and Road Regional Ecological Monitoring Consortium and the global 30 meters resolution land cover dataset have been successfully developed and made accessible to the GEO community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just to clarify, you did not have a question in your statement. Great. Okay. Thank you for your intervention. I would like to invite the European Commission, please.
Yes, hello, good morning. This is a very short statement. The European Commission likes to congratulate the awardees. We're of course also particularly very happy about the award to the Blue Planet office or the Blue Planet initiative, and as proud co-sponsors of the European office. But generally I think it also exemplifies the great success of the various GEO initiatives as nicely presented in the highlights report, that we will disseminate and encourage everybody, the GEO Secretariat, but actually everybody here in the room, to use the channels you have to widely disseminate it, because it really shows the impact that GEO creates. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, I would like to invite the Senegal delegation.
Thank you, Chair. We want to raise 2 points. The first point is the balance between North and South in generating this kind of information. If you take countries like US or European Union, hundreds of institutions, thousands of researchers. In Africa, few institutions and few researchers to address all the GEO things, the GEO XX, GeoGlam, GEO whatever. It's the same type of people. They get very quickly overwhelmed. I think strategically we should think, beside capacity building, how to help develop specific program for critical mass building for the kind of activities we are doing. The second point is about cross-fertilization between the GEOs. I can see bridges between Blue Planet and GLOWS, talking about plastic. The end point of plastic is ocean water. GLAM and LDM, we can't talk about crop monitoring without talking about land degradation neutrality. But also the dyes, the gas and GLOWS of the GLAM.
Mr. Baloui.
I don't know if strategically you...
As a court pleases, my lord. You still under oath, Sergeant?
Confirmed, my lord.
My lord, yesterday the state referred to Exhibit VV in brackets 1. VV, yes, VV in brackets 1.
To learn about each other's
dental
work,
report,
right, opportunities to complement and to
compiled
amplify.
on the 22nd of
Next,
June
I would like to
2020,
invite the delegation from Ecuador.
just before our journey yesterday,
Right.
Advocate Ngome Zulu stood up and indicated that
From
the
Ecuador,
reason
we
why
welcome
they handed up this dental report was only to refer to the date of the
its data sets.
22nd of June
all the government
2020 being the date of the
Open data is
examination.
becoming a staple, including the integration.
He says the only reason why they hand up
the recent national census
the dental
aggregates
report
spatial information at the city block
was
level
to
and lower.
indicate
From
that
Secretariat of Risk Management,
that
we've
accused number
developed a
2
national hazard
was
information system with a special catalog and spatial data infrastructure. All the current GEO developments with American GEO as GEO GLOWS and the land degradation spatial data sets have a great impact and improve the local capacities manifold. We've used those developments for early warning against flood, and they also the monitoring of land degradations, neutrality targets. We have even worked with a humanitarian OpenStreetMaps team to do some mapathons and develop prevention maps before El Niño comes over to the country. So we welcome all these instances and are grateful for the help, and the country is ready and ripe for all the GEO developments in the region. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ecuador. I would like to invite the UNCCD for your intervention, please.
So it's a statement, and first and foremost, I just really appreciate the presentations all across the board. They're fantastic, and I love the work going on in GEO. I would respond to the comments made by several of you about what we call inside of GEO-LDN sustainability. Actually, the very first meeting of the GEO-LDN flagship, it was listed as the #1 task of the Secretariat, even though it had just received a very generous contribution from the government of Germany, was how do we move towards sustainability? And it is I guess the way we look at it is that from a governance point of view, the link of what happens at the GEO Secretariat and what happens in these flagships and how we move towards sustainability so that everybody wins is something that needs further consideration. It's not an obvious path. I also really appreciate the suggestions made by several of you about integration, collaboration, maybe even merging of some of these. For example, the GEO-GLAM, GEO-LDN connection is very obvious. In GEO-LDN, as I pointed out yesterday, we're dealing with conservation, we're dealing with sustainable land management, we're dealing with restoration, and GEO-GLAM has the ag part of this nailed. If we bring those data sets to bear, we don't have to tell planners where the ag is. It's understood because it's already mapped. We don't have to recreate that. So we're already going down that path, but it is ad hoc, and I agree, it needs to be more systematic. Thank you.
Thank you for your intervention. I would now like to invite India, please. please.
Our efforts to make global water sustainable, but the global water is depleting everywhere. What are the impact? The impact is on subsidence, coastal subsidence, threat to earthquake, and apart from that, water quality is declining because we have to exploit the water from the deep boreholes, and that is a big problem. Thank you.
Thank you, India. I would now like to invite a participating organization, the Mountain Research Institute, please.